Alright, okay, so I'm gonna drop this new joint to J1 review, but it's a little all over the place, so try and keep up. So, one of TV shows that I really fucks with really hard is the Vikings, But I mean, I followed it from the jump, and it was really really good. It is, I mean, it's good. So, the thing that you know I've said for many many months now is after Ragnar died, it was kind of like I'm not sure what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like I know the saga of Ragnar's sons, blah 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 blah, but same time, what is they really trying to accomplish here? So, um, I was inspired tonight while watching the new season because I'll say this for the record, you know, again, I'm jumping around, but I think Rocky is one of the most romantic love stories ever, 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 right? I mean, if you look at the whole saga, you know, the way Rocky loved Adrian, right? But that's what it was about. I mean, in 2, 3, 4, they try to show how Adrian loves Rocky. However, her character wasn't established enough and wasn't acceptable by America because she might have been a lot of things, but she wasn't a strong woman, right? Okay. So I'm watching this episode of Vikings tonight, and Lagatha, she's getting old, but she's the greatest shield maiden ever, 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 right? So she's got her own little village, and they trying to hold it down, and all these widows show up there. So it's a bunch of kids and old people and women, and they trying to hold down their spot. Well, even though she had committed to no more violence, she picked up her steel again, right? And she goes at it head on, you know? And I feel like in the scene, she's fighting for Ragnar. I mean, that's what she's about these days. Like, she old, She know what she had. She know what she doesn't have no more. But she still sees him, right? His ghost visits her, right? So she fights with all her might. Now, I gotta say, I've had a hard time trying to pick up something new to watch. And through a lot of this season, I think it's season 6, through a lot of this season, I've been like, you know, doing other things while it's on because, it's just not enticing and engaging. However, this evening, this particular episode, something about it moved me, you know, because what a man could commit to a woman is righteousness, is passion, is devotion. But that's easy because you're a man. So if you really, really, really feel that, you can do it. I mean, all you got to do is step up and handle it, right? I mean, maybe easy is a bad word. However, it can be done, and we're genetically predisposed. But if you look at the history of the female of the species, I mean, whatever your belief system may be. I mean, go all the way back. That's not in their character. So to find or to dream or to write a character that is that devoted makes a man look at that and say, damn, I'd trade anything for that. I'd trade time. I'd trade money. I'd trade material possessions. Trade anything for that type of loyalty and honor. You know what I mean? And I'm not encouraging women to fight to the death for their men. That's not what this is about. It's about the emotion that was felt seeing that level of commitment, right? So now I've done a lot of wrong or bad things in my life, but at the same time, like, I have also, I put in very, very hard work to prove that, when I'm on point, I'm not slipping, right? But that level of commitment is extremely and rarely reciprocated. Now, that's not the woman's fault. It's society's fault, okay? For, making them feel inferior years ago, right? I mean, look at the institution of marriage. It was established so that a woman could have a legal right to a man's assets, because back in the day, once she was the older model, they just traded it up for a new one and you was left with nothing. And so they came up with a contract that dictated that, well, you can do that, but if you do, there's a payoff. But what about the real payoff? Like, what about the real commitment? Like, what if you say, nah, I'm real as fuck. I'm willing to do this, this, and this. And you do that, and then, essentially, you offer the apple that you know is poisonous, or will end immortality, and you take it anyways because you're being weak, right? Or because you're trying to please. So what I'm saying is, there are those amongst us that have been soldiers, not in war, or maybe in war, but it's not the war you're thinking of. It's the war of love. There's those of us that have put forth every effort and every sincerity, right? And still tried to remain themselves. But those people are not who we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the series Vikings and the fact that Lagertha did what she had to do back in the day, right? Because Ragnar was, ambitious. However, she never disrespected him, never forgot him. And now here we are in this might be the last season, I don't know. And she's still fighting to the death in his name. Now, the only story I could compare that to is Rocky, right? Because Rocky never remarried. He never dated again. I mean, that was it. Adrian was the love of his life, right? That's fucking romantic as fuck. Is it realistic? I don't know. I mean, everything we're talking about, even the Adam and Eve shit, that's fictional, right? So I'm just saying, message to you females out there. If a man sees a level of loyalty and commitment that's beyond anything he's ever seen before, it's going to impress him more than your waistline or your bust line or how nice your ass look. Yes, those things are amazing. However, at some point we have to realize that there's more to life than just 3 days, 4 days, 6 hours. I'm not saying don't enjoy those time frames because they are very enjoyable, and speaking from personal experience, I would suggest it. However, maybe Jim Morrison was right. Maybe we're looking for something sacred. And again, I've been having a hard time getting back into the Vikings ever since Ragnar died, right? But tonight's episode, I mean, I was feeling it, you know? So if you're not familiar with the show or you're having a hard time getting through the seasons after Ragnar dies, hold out, for the 6th season because it's a little, scattered. However, just the character and the character Lagatha played from the jump was 100, right? But like where she's at now in her journey is some epic shit. So, I mean, check it out. It's it's a good series. You know. So, yeah. So that's my word. Vikings. It's a good show. It's a good series. Um, give it a try. Keep hope alive. This is J1 telling you to keep it one and signing out. Now, I should end it right there, but I want to just add this a little bit. In the Viking religion or society, Lagatha was considered a shield maiden. And shield maidens were sent back as Valkyries. Valkyries are much like angels. And these Valkyries will come back and inspire the warrior to take it to the next level, to do something that maybe people considered is not humanly possible. I don't consider these stories of fiction. I consider them stories of hope. So, keep hope alive. One.